The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Kaufman and Lind at whenyouneedus.com. If you're injured in a car accident or any other injuries, give them a call 407-706-3535. That's whenyouneedus.com. Yeah.
Well, they brought out this huge tarp, but it was like really windy. And the tarp started kind of going up in the air, and all the people were like kind of going underneath the tarp, and they were like getting trapped underneath it. And I was there like as a teacher, as like I had a class there, and everyone, all the kids were like screaming, like they were like, it was like the most terrifying thing. It was like people were dying out in the field. Everyone's all screaming. It was a chaos everywhere. The tarp's going up in the air. People are all falling down. It was nuts.
And then the PE teacher the next day decided to do the parachute thing, right? Where they,
all because of PTSD.
Yeah, that's what happened actually. And yeah, we had to cancel school. We all went virtual.
Joe, that was because of a bat. I know in Florida we don't acknowledge COVID.
Oh,
but it wasn't because of the baseball game.
Oh, no wonder why. Okay.
And now it's time for the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's right. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who like to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on the Facebook, the Instagram, the YouTube, the TikTok, the Twitter, just visit our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our sweet merchandise and become a member of our clubhouse. Become a friend with benefits. That's our Patreon for as low as $1 a month. And you can see us as we're recording and see some of the off-air banter and some of the really funny things that you don't necessarily get to hear. And that's just $1 a month. Also, we're going to be talking about this a little bit later. We've got something really cool coming on Discord, so I'm super excited about that. If you're listening to us on Glacier, happy Thursday afternoon. Don't forget, you have between now and October 31st to hashtag share the show. All you have to do is just share a link from our show. While you're listening on Apple or Spotify or iHeart, just share it to Facebook and tag us, No New Friends Podcast, with the hashtag share the show, and you're entered to win a $50 Visa gift card. And I'll tell you, there's not that many people who've done it. That, like, you have a good chance if you do it a couple times to win this thing. So let's get those in there. Also, you have until now, from now until December 31st for the Journey of Merchandise. Just take a cool picture with our No New Friends Podcast shirt or magnet, either on a celebrity or in a really cool place. Email us that picture, nonewfriendspodcast@yahoo.com, and we'll decide who wins this contest. My name is Scott. I am the host, and the queen of quarantine, Mary, is not with us this evening. She's a little sick this week, so she's back in quarantine. But with me, as always, he's a LinkedIn expert, our scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
Welcome to Earth. Now that's what I call a close encounter.
Doctor Strange.
Close.
Is it Infinity War?
No. But it does have to do with aliens.
I know. I can picture it in my head. And it's like, and then there's a gun, and then he shoots him or something.
The guy who said this for more, had a close encounter with Chris Rock at the Oscars.
So it's going to be
Men in Black.
No, another
Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Yes,
his
good.
best alien movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That other voice that you hear, you recognize him from the Diz His podcast, and he's going to love this first segment. Diz His Joe.
Joey.
Whoa.
I
I don't
Do you
know
get
if
it?
anyone's ever called you Joey.
No, but Mary, she says Mary, so I said Joey.
Oh, I see what you did there. All right, that was
Yeah.
cute.
Okay.
That was cute. So, listen, we have a lot of fun on the show. We joke a lot. Most of it is at my expense with some of the dumb stuff that I do. So, a serious side of adulting. A couple weeks ago, my cat unexpectedly and suddenly passed away. She was 9 years old, had an infection that went into her kidneys, and unfortunately, we lost her at the young age of 9. It was awful. So I've been over it, and I've been wanting to talk about it. In fact, as my cat was dying and we didn't know if she was going to survive or not, I called Chris, and I was talking to Chris about it, and I said, look, man, I said, don't tell my wife this, but any way this works out, it's going to be content. So I'm thankful for that.
I wish this was a bit, but he actually did call me. I was expressing how sorry I was to hear all this, and even after the cat had passed, he goes, "Oh well, at least it's content." And that's just you should get that tattooed on yourself. At least that'll be on your tombstone. Actually, you're like Scott Buffet. At least it's content.
Do you want us to do a bit when you die, Scott?
I think it's brilliant. It'll make for some great content. Listen, if I die, that may be the most like Chris. You have to carry on this show. You know, Chris, you, Mary, Joe, Alex, whatever. Just carry on this show, and you have to do a tribute episode. It's going to blow up, and you guys are going to be rich and famous. You're welcome.
We'll put a QR code on your casket because I know you'd want that.
Yes, I would want that. Yeah. And listen, instead of music at my funeral, I just want the theme song for when they're carrying my casket out.
Then the best of.
Yes, and just play the best of No New Friends podcast. So someone's going to have to edit that. Joe, you were going to say something?
Dane. Yeah, I was going to say that, for we should like an all-day service, right? A celebration of life of Scott. And then Remy, we can all do live shows all day at the funeral or wherever it's going to be at,
that's
right?
Perfect. That's perfect. Now, this is Chris. I hope you're taking notes because I need you to facilitate this. Great. You and Mary just talk about this, make it work out. Okay, Patreon members get the first couple rows. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Good idea.
Then my family.
You think we'll have 2 rows full of Patreon?
By then, maybe.
I hope we can look back at this 10 years and laugh because we'll have thousands of rows of Patreons.
Right. Well, who knows? Because my eating habits and my daily intake of nicotine, it could be next week. Who knows?
Oh, that's true. There's a couple times we thought you almost died in our trip. Like when we were all hanging out, there's a couple times we thought you were dying.
Yeah, exactly. Look, if my cat can die at 9, I can die at 42. It happens.
It's true.
Well, at least you guys can be together.
Exactly. So, okay, Patreon members in the first couple rows, then my family, and then everybody else, okay? Because I think that will be good. No, Ryan, you cannot quit Patreon if I die. The show will go on.
We have to pay for the funeral.
Yeah, wait till after the funeral. That's the way I want it.
I think we can pull off some type of a Weekend at Bernie's thing with you, too, so you can still actually be the host of the show.
Yeah, we have enough sound bites of you.
You are onto something. Just put a fedora and some sunglasses on me. This is working out better than I thought.
I know.
Forget the funeral. No, forget the funeral. We'll just do a Weekend at Bernie's thing.
You're right. Forget the funeral. 100%. I'm going to call in a shaman from Gambia. And then we're going to bring you back to life.
Yeah. You know what, Scott? I've always encouraged you to quit smoking. Keep smoking because the faster you die, the faster we get this really good content.
I know, right? Now, Joe, listen, this whole shaman thing, it's great in theory, okay? But I haven't done enough drugs to be partially dead, okay? That's only Anne Heche. She's the only one who can be partially dead instead of super dead.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Super dead.
Yeah, now she's super dead. She was only partially dead. Just
wait, R.I.P. Is that rest in peace or roast in peace?
Apparently for us, it's roast in peace.
Gosh.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Well, speaking of roasting, so I picked up my cat's ashes today.
What a segue! Oh my gosh!
So, Joe, I knew you'd love this segment because it has to do with a dead animal. So,
oh gosh.
Let me tell you,
I love dead animals.
Listen, in all seriousness, this is my wife's cat, and obviously I've been around with, we've been together for almost 7 years, so it's my cat now too. And let me tell you, when she passed, I was a blubbering idiot. I didn't think I was gonna go down this road. So like today, like we've been delaying picking up the ashes because she died. What, Chris? Like almost a month ago.
Yeah, it's
been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Did they charge you for like room and board for the ashes?
No. But they did say you have 31 days due to limited space. So we were kind of up against the clock, and
because COVID, right?
No, just
cats are dying left and right.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that, Joe, because when she first started showing signs of eventually dying, I thought she just had cat COVID. Like I texted Chris and Mary, and I was like, I think my cat has COVID.
Yeah,
because the way
which you were pretty excited about, actually.
I was. That would have been great content.
Was your cat vaccinated?
She was not. And see, that maybe could have saved her.
She's a Trumper.
Maybe she is a Trumper. So anyway, we were delaying going to get these ashes because like that was like the last part of it and having to relive it. So, they come out with this little gift bag that has our ashes in it. And then, they brought her carrier because that's how we got her there and we hadn't picked that up yet. And I was fine until I saw her collar. Like her collar was on the cage and it was just, oh my God, it was awful. And I called my wife and I was a mess. And like, I knew I had to get it out of my system before I got home because I knew as soon as I got in the door, my wife was going to lose it. So I called Chris and Chris got to hear me at a vulnerable state. I did ask him to join Patreon out of sympathy. He did. Thank you, Chris.
I joined a couple times. They had a couple different accounts. I don't know why. I'm a host of the show. I don't, whatever.
So, so we get home and let me tell you, if you've ever had to go through this with losing a pet and going the cremation route, like they handled it so great and they made an imprint of her paw print, which was really sweet. And as soon as like, that's when we pulled that out of the bag, like that's when we lost it. So we have this nice little like shrine set up for her. It's cute. And my animals don't know what to do because now they smell her again because like we still have the towel that we brought her in and we're not going to wash it because, there's another cat in the house and it was her daughter. So we're giving that to her so that she can kind of like still smell her and all that. But anyway, so look, pets die and we move on. All dogs go to heaven.
So Ryan puts in Discord, I can't even joke about Scott's cat. I feel bad. We can joke about Scott's cat and stay tuned for Chris's Cliff Notes where we will joke about Scott's dead cat.
Hey, Scott, actually, no, I want to do something really nice here.
Okay.
And will you send me a picture? Mama was the cat's name, right?
Yeah, so her legal name was Nala, but we called her Mama Cat. Like we've never called her Nala. It's Mama Cat and Kitten. And their real names are Nala and Comet, but I don't know where the Mama Cat and Kitten came from. That's just what I've always known them as.
So what I want to do here is I want you to send me a picture of Mama Cat, and then I want to make this for you because one of our cats recently this passed away a couple months ago, and we got this pillow.
Oh.
So I want to do this for you. So if you can send me a picture of, I'm being serious, Scott. If you can send it to me, I want to do this for you. Okay.
Oh, that's
it's a really cool little pillow. Look.
That's a really great idea.
Super cute.
Yeah. So I want to do that for you.
Can you mass produce that? Put No New Friends podcast on the back of it, and you check out our sweet merchandise, No New Friends podcast.
That's kind of dangerous, that pillow idea, because for animals it's cute, but imagine people doing it for like human beings. They could do some really vulgar things with something like that.
Yeah. Hashtag sex robot. Chris, you may be onto something though.
Maybe.
I mean, it may be a little stalkerish. You find a picture of a celebrity, at findaceleb.com and, just kind of blow it up and there you go. And
this is going down the wrong path right here. I was trying to do something nice. This is going way off.
Well, listen, it would have been weird if it was a dog because.
You mean you put a couple holes in it?
Oh gosh.
Listen, I brought this up, obviously it's sad, it was devastating and all that. I didn't want it to be super depressing and I knew we could make it funny in a tasteful way. I don't know that my segue from Anne Heche burning to picking up my cat's ashes was the most appropriate segue, but there it is. We have to laugh because if we don't laugh, we cry. No, seriously, like I said, I picked this up. I picked up the ashes, an hour ago? An hour ago, Chris, is when I called you, I think.
Yeah, so do you want to put off the show for a little longer?
And I'm like, no, this is content. Are you kidding me? No, I'm a goddamn professional, Chris. The show must go on.
Scott, so on the way home, did you put like the ashes? What kind of container was it in? Like a little box?
So the ashes are actually in this like really nice decorative box with her name, like a nameplate. It says Mama Cat, but it was in a gift bag. Is how they kind of gave it to me. Did you kind of put the gift bag like in the seatbelt in the car, like make sure it's kind of strapped in there? So you did. Absolutely. No, Joe. In all seriousness, so it was raining a little bit. I was scared to death that I would like drop the bag or something happened to the bag, and like. I'm walking in from the house and I picked up a Diet Coke on the way out there. And so I'm carrying this crate, the Diet Coke and this bag with the ashes. And I'm like, I don't know what's more important here. The crate with the towels in it, her ashes or my Diet Coke. So I'm doing this like balancing act Like I look like the people of Gambia, with all the towels and baskets on their head, just balancing stuff. Anyway, Joe, I figured, with you coming on, I figured I had to talk about a dead animal. It would bring you great joy. So
it did make my night. I'm not gonna lie.
Good.
Like as soon as you started talking about a dead animal, a little pea came out.
Listen, if you're listening to us for the first time on Glacier, no, Joe doesn't take joy out of dead animals, but he loves Turner and Hooch, and that's the most depressing movie ever. It's the most depressing movie ever. So we joke about how Joe loves movies with dead animals in it.
Well, first off, okay, let's just talk about this. It's not that I didn't like when Hooch died, but Hooch was a loyal companion to Turner through the whole movie, right? Had his back. It really
took a bullet for him, literally.
For 100%.
Spoiler alert. That is the part spoiler alert, the dog takes a bullet.
That is the part I liked, is the companionship of Turner and Hooch, not that Hooch died. But of course, Scott's going to go ahead and turn it around to make it sound like I hate it.
No, Scott has very strong companionship with his dog as well.
Stop it.
His dog has taken many bullets from him as well.
You son of a bitch.
That's so gross.
Listen, again, if this is your first episode, I have never done anything inappropriate with a dog except for let the dog stay in bed with me when my wife and I go to Costco. That's it.
I still understand why you let that happen. Is it maybe it's just done so quickly that it doesn't even make a difference? Like you're in and out,
I like that theory. I like that theory much better.
We're not rehashing that. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. When we come back, Chris went to a Phillies game and has some pretty good stories from there. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, looking for another way to listen to the No New Friends podcast? We are now featured on Glacier FM. That's GLACER FM.com. Just go to the music channels and go to Glacier Underground. That is Glacier, GLACER. And you can hear us Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, that is GlacierFM.com.
Hey, it's Dane from Big Beautiful Diz. If you haven't heard of my YouTube channel already, it's all about theme parks. Theme park history, theme park reviews, theme park opinions, and interviews with people in the industry or the community. So if you're a theme park fan, head over to youtube.com/c/BigBeautifulDiz and hit that red subscribe button. I'll see you over there, everybody.
Hey, this is Craig Brooks with Tasty Trivia, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. Mary is out today, but we've got Joe from the Diz His podcast here, filling in, doing a hell of a job as always. Don't forget, we've got a couple of contests running. Hashtag share the show, which runs all the way until October 31st. Just share our episodes on Facebook. Tag us, hashtag share the show, and just tag us, No New Friends Podcast. And you're going to be entered to win Wow. You're going to be entered into a drawing for a chance to win a $50 Visa gift card. Also, the Journey of Merch, where you just take pictures of our merchandise in really cool places or on really cool people, and we'll decide who wins that. Now, Chris, we're going to do something on Discord. We've been kind of talking about, and also Twitch. We're not quite there yet, but we're going to start streaming something on Twitch. But why don't you kind of tell everybody what we're looking at on Discord?
Yeah, so some exciting things coming to the No New Friends podcast. We are going to start, like you said, streaming on Twitch. Our first segment, we'll be streaming our Riverside broadcast to Twitch. Things got busy this week. We're going to start running some tests this week and hopefully launch by next week. Which will be a lot of fun. Those videos of the first segment will be saved, pending any catastrophic technical issues. Those first segments will be posted on YouTube weekly, so you'll be able to kind of rewatch. If you don't get to watch live, you can rewatch on YouTube, which should be a lot of fun. But the exciting thing that we are going to launch, hopefully sooner than later, it's going to take some learning and some reaching out to different groups of people, but we're going to open up our Discord to really anyone who wants to be a part of it. Now, we will have our private pages for our Patreons. Our Patreons will still be the only ones that can watch the show live, but we're going to have a lot of different channels that you can come and talk about, navigating life with other people. Adulting. We'll have our strange news tab for, podcast related, but we're going to have a lot of other tabs. Adulting fail of the week, where even if you're not a patron, you can submit an adulting fail of the week that you might have had, and if it's good enough, we'll read it on the podcast. If it's bad, I'll probably just delete it, because I do have that kind of power on our Discord. But yeah, so that's pretty exciting. We're going to try to start building a community, an adulting community, but one where we can navigate life in a funny way. Like, so something happens, like your cat dies. Let's joke about it. Let's make light of it. Let's joke about these things that are sometimes hard, because life is really dark, and sometimes you just need some comedy to laugh at all these hard things. So that's coming soon. I'll keep everybody posted on when that launches, but I'm hoping to get it up and going in the next couple weeks.
I really wish that I had your talents in writing jokes on the fly, because there were so many things that you said in there. Making it hard and things like that. But no, look, we're the podcast for adults who like to laugh at adulting, and why not make a bunch of like a community of people who like to laugh at adulting, and maybe they're not Patreon members yet. So, look, I think it'll be a lot of fun. And that's all I've ever wanted to do, is build this community. And I've tried to build a community around a podcast. Well, now I want to try to build, I've tried to build I want to build a community.
Yeah. We're going to do it the other way around. We're going to build a community, and we're going to have it go side and side, hand in hand with the podcast, where, hey, you can come on and talk. You don't have to pay anything. We just want to talk with you guys. We just want to, a community where everyone can kind of talk and have fun. And if you want to listen to the podcast, that's great. If you want to pay to be a patron, that's great. But we just want to create a community for, for adults who like to laugh at adulting. That's really what we want to do.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be exciting. I can't wait. And with Discord stuff, I know Diz does this really cool game night. We just did it the other night, and I had some.
You were there the whole time, right, Scott?
No, I had some parenting to do.
I was gonna say we is a strong
some adulting
word.
to do.
Yeah, I had some adulting to do, and that was gonna be one of the topics tonight, like having to parent instead of having fun. So that was awful. But Ryan just thanked me. Really nice, genuine, sincere thank you. Speaking of Discord, thanks for joining the game night, Scott. I know we only got to have fun with you for like 3 minutes. 3 minutes of fun and then disappointment. I guess I know how Scott's wife feels.
Oh man, that's funny.
That was a really good one.
If
you didn't read that out loud, I was gonna steal it and put it in my Cliff Notes. That was a really good one.
So anyway, look for that. Chris, you went to a baseball game the other day.
I did. Last night, I went to a game with Emily and a couple of our friends, some childhood friends of mine. So a couple funny things happened. Nothing insane, but things that I just needed to talk about. So we get to the game, and whoever's been to a sporting event knows that alcohol, really everything, but alcohol especially, is ridiculously expensive. So my friend goes to buy a beer, and his card gets declined. It wasn't anything like he doesn't have money, but it just got declined.
I like how you say my friend. Okay, Chris, it's your friend whose card got declined. Spokesperson says.
Were you using your Macy's card? Is that why?
Chris just pulled out the wrong. I mean, he's got 50 different maxed out cards in his wallet. He just keeps, moving balances from one card. He just pulled out the wrong one. It's fine.
There's a few with some room in there.
Yeah. So back to your friend.
So my other friend took her credit card out and said, "Here, I'll get your first drink for you."
Joe, otherwise known as Emily. Emily's the other friend.
And now everything. I know there's all these memes and pictures going around where, like, now with all these like Square point of sale systems, like you get the option to tip. And it's like all these people do is, just turn the screen around. Like they're not doing anything. There's no reason for them to get tipped, right? They're getting paid hourly. It's not like they're on like a waiter or waitress's salary where they're getting like 3 cents an hour. They're getting paid,
Chris, this is 2022. They're servers. You don't call them waiters and waitresses.
Really?
Okay? Servers. Yeah, they're servers.
Really? I feel like servers is very derogatory.
I still call them slaves.
Man. Oh my god!
Everything is gender neutral now. You just have story instead of history or her story. It's just story. Postal workers instead of postman. Police officers instead of gender neutral.
Pig.
Yeah.
So, I think that's acceptable actually. So anyway, so she buys him the beer. And he goes, oh, and you can tip if you want. And he shows her the. She goes, well, how much is the beer? And he goes, $11. And she goes, oh no, it's okay then. she just didn't tip the guy. She was like, and she walks away. She was like, he just reached down and grabbed the beer. What does he want me? What does he want? He wants a tip for that? Like after an $11 beer. So that was great because I've never seen anybody just tell someone no to their face, and I respected the hell out of it.
Yeah.
At the end of the game, we go to the parking lot, and I haven't bought a knockoff shirt in years. And I love me some knockoff shirts in the parking lot. I don't know if you guys have that at your games, but I always have people selling pretzels, water bottles, and knockoff shirts, and the occasional anal bead. But
every once in a while, like. At Walmart, they're selling like knockoff shirts in the Walmart parking lots in here in Florida.
Oh, I don't think after I talk about the knockoff shirt, I don't think I talked about my Wawa parking lot story.
No, probably not.
Okay, I'll talk about that after the shirt because it ties in.
Is that one where you almost got kidnapped?
No, not that one. It was a different time. So I buy a knockoff shirt for the first time, and they used to be like 5 or 3 for 3 for $20 they're asking for a shirt. And I have
knockoffs?
Yes. Well, first of all, they're premium. Like they're very nice shirts. They're even ironing on like brand name logos on the inside of the shirt now. Like it says like Fruit of the Loom, but then above it says Nike. Like they ironed it on, and they even ironed a little patch on the outside.
Wow.
I don't know how to say no. Yeah, I don't know how to say no, so
Listen,
I bought it.
If you want to get a cheaper knockoff shirt, just visit our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. We've got a lot of merch that is cheaper than knockoff merch, including my Greetings from Gambia shirt that I'm wearing this evening.
Before we get off the subject of buying shirts in a parking lot, I went to Wawa the other day because cashing in a lottery ticket. I went to Walmart, picked up a couple Toys for Tots. I was like, you know what? Good karma. Let me buy a lottery ticket, $100. So guys, karma's a real thing, I think. I just gamble a lot too, so I just try to justify it
So
by
your odds
saying
are
it's
there,
karma.
yeah. Right.
So anyway, so I go to Wawa, to cash in the ticket. I get out of my car, and a very disheveled gentleman walks up to me with bags. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I was like, you know what? I'll buy the guy lunch if he wants lunch. I'm not going to give him money, but I'll buy him lunch, right? So he didn't want lunch. He asked me if I wanted to purchase. He goes, hey, I have Express shirts. You know, their store Express?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Express shirts for sale, brand new with tags. Would you like to take a look? And I was like,
didn't that go out of business in like 1994?
No, it's still around. It's still up in here in Jersey.
No,
anyway. It might have been down in Florida.
The brother store of Express went out of business.
Floridians might not be able to afford it, so it might just be a little. So I can't afford it either.
They closed down all the Expresses and put Meth Mart.
So this guy's like, "Do you want to take a look?" And I was like, "What do I have to lose?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So he showed me the shirts are nice shirts, but he showed me like the XLs, the extra smalls. I'm like, dude, this is not my size.
Do you want to take a look? Did he bring you into a van and maybe touch you? Where did he touch you, Chris?
So we'll talk about that after the podcast.
Show us on the doll.
So
Joe's
got a really cool cat doll. You can just show on that. Just point to this.
I actually have one of Chris. Hold on one second. I'll be right back.
So why am I sleeping in that picture, Joe? So I so I bought a shirt, brand new, and things started to piece together. They're stolen. Because why does he have a brand new? So I did buy one, very nice premium shirt, $10, cheaper than the knockoff shirt I got at the Phillies game, new with tags. But the best part about this experience was after I was done the shirt, he had more stuff. He's like, "You like Red Bull?" I was like, "No, I don't like Red Bull." He's like, "What about Monster?" I'm like, "Why does he have Red Bull and Monster?" Then I look down at his bag. He goes, "I have watermelon too. You want watermelon?" And I'm looking, and he literally went into Wawa, stole a bunch of stuff from Wawa, and started selling Wawa stuff in their parking lot. Like it was prepackaged, like watermelon sliced up with the Wawa thing on it. Like he's like he had watermelon, bottles of stuff, and a speaker.
This brings a whole new meaning to scumbag reselling hoarder.
In the flesh. I was proud. I was like, this
Chris was out
move if I've ever seen one.
Joe, Chris was out there taking notes for his business.
It's like this guy does. It's too easy. This guy makes it look too easy.
I have an idea. I feel like I should buy a whole bunch of like No New Friends shirts. And Chris, you can go hire all these people. Just give it to him, and he can sell them. Yeah.
But anyway, the back to the Phillies game.
So when are we gonna have your mentor on the podcast? I can't wait.
I'll try to get him on. Honestly, I was getting a little afraid that like cops were going to be like, freeze, put your hand, because I thought that it could have been like a sting operation. Right. Because he was doing it very obviously, like it was like not safe at all. But anyway, back to the name Phillies of his game. Oh, I can't say it all.
So was it Papa?
So I got these tickets for free because my last game got rain delayed out, right? And we get there and we pull up, we get to our seats, and there's a tarp on the field. They're in rain delay. So we're sitting there for an hour in rain delay, which was actually Dane from Big Beautiful Diz messaged me, and he goes, "You have the worst luck with Phillies games," because he was making fun of me the last time that I was there. So that was fun. You guys ever been in a rain delay before? It's the worst.
I have. No, it's the best, and I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, it's the best. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you why. So we went to an Orlando City soccer game. It was my first Orlando City soccer game. And I went kind of kicking and screaming, but someone gave us tickets because soccer is awful. It's the only game in the world that ends in a tie, and only one person in the entire world knows when that game actually ends. Nobody else knows. It just all of a sudden random whistles. So I really didn't want to go. I'm going to tell you what, I had a great time. So the seats that we were given were in this like kind of VIP section where it was free snacks and free beer up until like a certain point in the game. It was like up until like the last 10 minutes of the game, or, because you go to sporting events and last call is, for a basketball game is at the end of the third quarter, or at a baseball game. It's what the start of the 8th inning is usually last call, or 9th inning or whatever. So last call for the soccer game was going to be like, midway through the second half. I don't know. But with the rain delay that lasted an hour, that gave me an extra hour of free drinking, Chris. So it was amazing. And
awesome.
where we were in the stadium, it was covered, so we didn't get wet. I got plenty of beer, and it was fantastic. And I had I had severely sprained my ankle walking up to the stadium. So the beer took away the pain that I was in, because I was on crutches for about 2 weeks after that. But anyway, and have you ever done that? Have you ever like sprained your ankle and you're like, I'm walking off or whatever? Like I severely sprained my ankle and I got up and I'm like, I'm sprinting, which I can't do. Like I can't sprint. I'm fat. But now all of a sudden I'm an Olympic athlete, like running down the street to test my ankle, and I'm, Usain Bolting past people. It was the weirdest thing where all of a sudden now I can run just to prove that my leg's okay. By the time I got to my seats, the thing was the size of a grapefruit.
Oh, you'll never believe me, but the only time I ever sprained my ankle was when a severely obese woman fell on my foot in the 7th grade. And it was the most embarrassing thing ever because I needed crutches. And when people asked me how, like everyone asks you, how'd you do it? I had to make something up. Like I had to make up a new story every time because I just couldn't say that like this very overweight girl fell on my foot while I was in a SpongeBob costume at work. It was just, it was not a good story.
That's funny. Joe, you had a rain delay story, right?
I do have a rain delay story. It's kind of terrifying, okay?
Oh.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So we were watching a baseball game, and then, of course, a rain delay came out. And you know how they kind of, all the people, they have the crew, and they come out, and they kind of bring out like a big tarp, and they cover the field, and they do everything right?
Yeah.
Well, they brought out this huge tarp, but it was like really windy. And the tarp started kind of going up in the air, and all the people were like kind of going underneath the tarp, and they were like getting trapped underneath it. And I was there like as a teacher, as like I had a class there, and everyone, all the kids were like screaming, like they were like, it was like the most terrifying thing. It was like people were dying out in the field. Everyone's all screaming. It was a chaos everywhere. The tarp's going up in the air. People are all falling down. It was nuts.
And then the PE teacher the next day decided to do the parachute thing, right? Where they, you know.
All the kids have PTSD.
Yeah, that's what happened actually. And yeah, we had to cancel school. We all went virtual.
Joe, that was because of a bat. I know in Florida we don't acknowledge COVID.
Oh,
but it wasn't because of the baseball game.
Oh, no wonder why. Okay.
All right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
Lizard people, the moon landing, birds aren't real. Hi, this is Chris from the No New Friends podcast, and if you're hearing this message, you were selected to join the resistance. For as low as $1 a month, join our Patreon and help us uncover the truth. Upon joining us, you will be invited to our secret Discord, where we help spread these truths. You will be invited to watch our live recordings where the government cannot interfere. For more information, please send a messenger pigeon to my underground bunker or visit us at www.nonewfriendspodcast.com. This message will self-destruct in 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, Remy, from Remy's Roundtable. Remy's Roundtable is a podcast for all of our listeners who would like to know what's going on here in the beautiful state of Florida, whether it has to be the Florida theme parks, the Florida sports, and of course we cover your top Florida headlines. We also bring the 5-Minute Professor every single month to give us our lecture and quiz on any topic that we would like to learn. So guys, do not go anywhere. You are listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Hi, this is comedian Miguel Colon, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. Mary is still out. Joe from the Diz His podcast is with us. Now, some really exciting interviews that we've got coming up in the next couple weeks. We're going to have a clairvoyant on. That's a psychic on with us. He's a family friend. He's legit. So that'll be exciting to have him on. And then getting closer to October, we're going to have someone who does ghost tours in St. Augustine on the show talking about ghost tours. So
hey, Scott,
really excited about that. Yes, that's okay.
I was wondering, clairvoyant, right? Is that someone who talks to like dead people?
Yeah. They see,
right?
they talk to dead people. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he can talk to your cat?
Maybe. Oh, you son of a bitch. So listen, yesterday I played golf, okay, with my dad. So, pretty much drinking all day. Then I got home and continued drinking. So, when you drink, you get hungry. Okay. So here's the thing. I don't know about you guys. I don't know who does the pizza ordering in your homes or whatever. I do not do the pizza ordering. So I go up to Rachel. I'm like, hey, if you ordered a pizza, I wouldn't be upset because that's the way I ask for things. I've got to try to make it her idea. And she's like, well, I'm just too exhausted to order pizza. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll do it. So I have no idea how to do this. I go online, I go to Uber Eats because, with my Amex, I get a $15 credit every month on Uber. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this on Uber Eats. I find our favorite pizza place, Sliders. Well, then I get
What's
confused.
your favorite? That's the name of the pizza place is Sliders?
Yeah, Sliders. Sliders is really good here in Winter Garden.
I love pizza.
Yeah, really good. Really good. So I'm like, okay, I don't know. I always get a buffalo chicken pizza and a cheese pizza. That's what we always get. Buffalo chicken and cheese pizza. So, I'm like, I don't know what size I should get. And she's like, well, get the extra large or get the largest one. And I'm like, okay. So she doesn't realize that I'm going to order 2 pizzas. She only thinks I'm ordering 1. So I order a large buffalo chicken pizza, and then I couldn't find cheese pizza, so I ordered 5 cheese pizza. Joe, this was the most disgusting thing I've ever had. It was so gross because like I always order extra so that I can have pizza for breakfast.
Mhm.
And it was so disgusting. I'm like, I'm not going to eat this. This is
Why?
awful.
Like, so did they have like ricotta cheese on it? Like, what kind of cheese? did
Yeah,
have?
it was the ricotta cheese because I thought it was going to be like mozzarella cheese, like on a margarita pizza, but it was like the ricotta cheese and it was just like not good.
Mhm.
So this is so I tell my wife today, I was like, well, I learned a valuable lesson and now you're going to learn a valuable lesson. And she's like, what's that? And I said, 5 cheese pizza is absolutely disgusting. And she's like, yeah, I don't understand why you just didn't order cheese. I said, I don't know either, but all that pizza is going to go to waste. That was a waste of money because I'm not going to eat it. I said, so this is a learning opportunity for you. Don't ever let me order pizza. You just do it for me, and then let's call it a day. Chris, do you struggle with any, I feel like it's just like us as dudes, we can't handle stuff like this, or is it just me?
Yeah, so God's greatest gift was DoorDash. I will gladly pay an extra $15 so I won't have to talk to someone on the phone and make those hard decisions.
Agree.
Like
Right.
somebody just bamboozled you, Scott. Like I don't even think there's 5 cheeses that you could put on a pizza. I think I
know
don't
a
even know what
couple.
the 5th cheese could be. I've
Famunda
heard of 4
cheese.
pizza.
You get the lick me cheese. Lig me cheese, Famunda cheese, mozzarella, ricotta, and then cheddar.
He's setting you up here. We're supposed to say West Fremunda cheese.
Yeah.
What's Fermunda cheese, Joe?
From under your nuts.
So, Chris, do you struggle with that kind of stuff? And I'm with you. I could never call to order pizza ever. That was not something I could do. The only time I call to order pizza is when I'm with my mom because she was capable of doing less than I could. But even ordering stuff online, because I struggle with technology. I overpay on everything because I don't know how to checkbox things and all that.
Yeah, but the other thing too is like you ordered a 5 cheese pizza because it was an option there. Like 5 cheese. Like I'm the same way with like if I get a sandwich and like I'll get a hoagie and I'll get lettuce and tomato on there, right? Normally. But if you give me the option of like sweet peppers, hot peppers, roasted peppers, fried onions, salt, pepper, I got to select all of it because it sounds great. So I get the sandwich that weighs like 10 pounds and I'm paying like $45 for it because there's just too many things on there. It's too many options. They make it too confusing, Scott. It's too much.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
And I was drunk on top of everything. So
that makes things a lot harder. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I usually do all the ordering of the food here in my household, I guess. Yeah.
All right,
I
Mr.
usually
Big
do all
Shot.
the picking up. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get the hell off our show.
I'll see you later.
So, Joe, you had a little game for us to play.
I do have a little game. And so, for you who don't know, I'm one of the hosts for the Diz His podcast, and Chris is also on the show. And I've been wanting to play this game for a while, right? And pretty much the whole meaning behind the game is I'm also a teacher, and one of my jobs at one point in my career was to pretty much keep track of all the data of all the students to see where they're at, what they know, and to see where they need help with, right? Where they are at. And
obviously he doesn't
teach
English, Chris.
I just look at the data, right? I'm a data guy. So my whole goal for this game was to kind of collect the data and to see when we have Flight of Passage. When would be the best time to ride Flight of Passage? What day? What time? After like months of collecting data, and I can be like, okay, guess what? You know something? Tuesday, the third day of the month on a Tuesday at 12 p.m. would be the best time to ride Flight of Passage. Like I wanted to collect it and kind of see it, right?
Oh, so once every month, like Tuesday. That sounds like Scott's sex schedule.
And you can bring a dog. But
BYOD.
Scott, would you like me to put any extra holes in those pillows for you?
No, stop.
Not a cat guy.
Okay.
Not a cat guy.
He's not a cat guy. Okay, so the game is pretty much I took screenshots at 6:00 on a Tuesday of some of the rides at Disney World, and I want you to guess the wait times.
Okay, so 6 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Yeah, 6 p.m. on a Tuesday, right?
Okay,
so
today
hold on
Tuesday?
Today, it was today.
It was today.
Oh, geez,
okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay, and I want you guys to guess the wait time. and then I'm going to kind of keep score. Okay, so let's do Toy Story Mania, and Toy Story Mania is Hollywood Studios, right? And it's a really good ride. It's a really popular ride. Chris, have you been on that ride?
Love that ride.
Okay, Scott, have you been on that ride?
I'm very familiar with the motion that you have to use while shooting.
I like that ride as well a lot.
Okay, so let's go ahead, Scott. You can go ahead and go first because you're first.
Toy Story Mania is better than Buzz Lightyear Spin.
100%, yes. 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
So what do you think the wait time for Toy Story Mania at Hollywood Studios is on a Tuesday at 6 p.m.?
6 p.m. Okay, park closes around 9 o'clock. I'm going to say 15 minutes.
Okay, what do you say, Chris?
I'm going to say 45 minutes.
Chris is closer. It was at 70 minutes.
What?
Yeah, 70 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's a good ride.
Hold on one second. It is a really good ride. That ride usually has a long wait. I would say I've never seen that ride under an hour wait. Never.
Yeah. It's
I definitely have. I definitely have seen it under. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, here's another good one, right? Smuggler's Run, which is not Rise of the Resistance. That's the one where you're flying around the Millennium Falcon, right? What is going to be the wait time for Smuggler's Run?
6 p.m., right?
Yep, 6 p.m.
110 minutes.
What do you say, Chris?
90 minutes.
Chris it's closer, 75 minutes.
Wow.
Which is still kind of a long wait for that ride,
Right.
I would do it though for the first time. I've never been on that ride, so I would definitely do.
That was my next question. It was also I wanted to kind of go along with these. Is would you wait that long? So Chris, would you wait?
For both of those, as a person who visits the parks once every couple of years, for both of those rides, I would wait. Yes. One, because I haven't done Smuggler's Run. Two, because I love this Toy Story Mania.
Okay. What do you think, Scott?
Okay. Yes for Rise of the Resistance. No for Smuggler's Run. I would not wait. I would not wait probably more than 20 minutes for Smuggler's Run.
But what if you've never done it?
So the first time I ever went on it, I waited. Too, really. I waited 35 minutes for it.
Okay. Because I want to be the Millennium Falcon.
Scott, would you wait 70 minutes for Toy Story?
Hell no. 20 minutes. No. 20 minutes top.
For Toy Story Mania? That's a good ride.
I've been on that ride. 20 minutes.
I've been on that ride multiple times. I would wait 70 minutes. It's like an hour. I would wait an hour. I think that's reasonable for Toy Story Mania.
It's not an e-ticket ride. No, it's not an e-ticket ride. I couldn't do it. I
would. What else are you riding in that park?
Rise of Resistance. Yeah.
But you get I get a fast pass for Tower of Terror.
Genie Plus.
I don't know what that is.
You have to explain that system. It's kind of like Universal Studios, the fast pass system. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Yes, it is. It's kind of like that. You have to pay for individual rides.
Right, Universal, you pay for all the rides in one shot.
That's true. And it's a lot of money too sometimes.
Yes, it is.
Which we know very well.
Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror at 6 p.m. 75.
30 minutes.
Scott got on the money, man. 75 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. And so would you wait that long, Chris?
Yes.
That's my favorite ride in all the parks.
Yeah. I wanted 75 minutes for it.
Let's go ahead and go to a different park. We're going to go to Epcot, right? First off, I would like to say, I guess Hollywood Studios is definitely kind of busy because those are pretty long wait times for 6 p.m. on a Tuesday.
When we're done with this game, I'll reveal why it is that way. But continue.
Okay, so Epcot, the Frozen ride. The Frozen ride at Epcot. How long is the wait? We'll go Scott first.
80 minutes.
Chris?
I'm going to go 110.
Scott was on the money, man. 80 minutes.
Wow.
Why'd you pick 80 minutes for that one?
Because Frozen is always at 80 minutes.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. There's certain rides that always have a certain amount of wait time. I just for, S's and giggles, I looked on the My Disney Experience app when the parks were closed for COVID, and Frozen had a posted 80-minute wait, and Peter Pan was a posted 45-minute wait. Parks were closed, still had a wait.
I might check this out. I need to check out this theory tomorrow. I'm going to do the same thing.
And I would wait that long for Frozen. Frozen, I don't know why, but Frozen is one of my favorite rides in all the parks.
It's a really cute ride. Yeah.
I think
it is a cute ride. How many more can we do? Can you do one more? And then you want?
One more.
You want to talk about your theory? I guess you have a theory. You said right. Okay. So
wait. I've never ever heard anyone pronounce theory as theory.
Theory.
Well, I've never heard anybody pronounce bagel as bagel.
That's fair. Keep going, Joe.
Soarin', Epcot, 6 p.m. Tuesday.
Soarin's a tough one.
You went first, Scott. We'll do Chris this time.
Yeah, I'm going to go 120 on Soarin'. 120.
Go ahead,
Soren's a tough one because most of Future World at 6 p.m. is about a 5-minute wait, except for Test Track and Soren. It's not going to be a super high. I'm going to say 35.
Scott got it, man. It's only a 15-minute wait, which I don't even
Really?
understand. I don't understand how that's a 15-minute wait.
Because of Guardians now?
Maybe that could be it.
Maybe.
I have no idea. But 15-minute.
Yeah, Soren is the anomaly. Soren is the anomaly of Future World because, Future World gets super busy first thing in the day in the morning and then is super dead the rest of the day.
Yeah. And Soren's a great ride. I think that's one of the best rides over at Epcot. I think Soren's one of the best
I agree
rides
with
there.
you. Okay, do you have any Magic Kingdom ones? Throw one Magic Kingdom one at us if you have it.
Okay, give me 1 second. I don't have any Magic Kingdom ones for some reason.
Okay, so here's my theory, as Joe would call it. So today is Tuesday, so it's a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. So no one's going to Magic Kingdom today. Nobody wants to use a full day ticket. I know that last Tuesday I was there, and it was definitely a Halloween party day. Nobody wants to use
that early, right?
Exactly. Parks close at 6 p.m. So on party days, Magic Kingdom's super slow, and the rest of the parks are super busy. So that's why Hollywood Studios has these extremely escalated wait times. Frozen, that's a normal wait time for Frozen.
Yeah, Frozen's always. I guess it's always 80, right? Should I check it right now and see what it says?
It's probably still 80.
Let me check.
It's a shame you don't have a Disney podcast to play this game on.
Well, I've been wanting to play this game, but
It's a fun game.
Alex already comes up with the games. It's only 40 minutes, man, right now, Frozen.
Wow.
That's pretty low.
Yeah, well, Joe, that was a fun game. I appreciate that was really cool and kind of a preview of some of the things that you guys do on DizHiz because you do games and all that. So super fun. Chris, do you have any cliff notes tonight?
I do have a few. So we didn't talk about this on the podcast, but it was huge news in my hometown. So don't know if you saw the news or if anyone listening saw the news, but Gary Busey was charged with sexual assault in my hometown at this monster convention, and it happened 5 minutes from my house, which that could have been me. I actually don't think anyone would have groped me, which slightly offends me. But anyway, back to our show. In the first segment, we talked about Scott's cat, which is super dead. And you should have seen the look on Joe's face. I haven't seen him that happy since the end of Marley and Me. Joe's excitement for dead animals almost matches Scott's excitement for sleeping vulnerable ones. Segment 2, you're talking about rain delays, and I actually got a little nervous when I asked Scott because, it's a sensitive subject for him. At his age, he experiences a rain delay every time he goes to Costco.
Oh, man.
And Scott previewed having a psychic on the show and described them as, quote, legit. I don't believe in psychics, and at all. And to me, psychics are about as legit as the 2020 election results to the people of Polk County. And lastly, we ended the show with what Joe called, quote, in his words, a little game for us. And Scott got super nervous because that's actually how he presents his penis to his wife.
Poor Scott.
Oh, that was Chris's Cliff Notes, everybody. And listen, if you want to sponsor Chris's Cliff Notes, that spot's available. We are finalizing the What's Next on DizHiz sponsorship. So Chris's Cliff Notes are available. Just give us a shout. No New Friends Podcast at yahoo.com.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation. Right at the start of everything that's new. One little spark.
Hey, it's Alex from DizHiz. You know me, you know Joe, you definitely know Chris, and you know Jen. Well, we're the hosts of DizHiz, the Disney History Podcast. Every week we take one Disney subject and go over the history, as well as our insight on the subject. We talk about other Disney topics, as well as what's new in the news. You can find us on all podcast platforms, or go to our website, dizhiz.com. That's DIZHIZ.com. And we're on all social media at DizHiz65.
So what do you guys got going on DizHiz this week?
we're going to be doing the castle. So the Disneyland Paris castle. And we're going to have Niels, and I don't think I've actually told you this, Chris, but Niels sent me a whole bunch of information on the castle. He sent himself, he sent a video of himself outside the castle kind of talking about it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if you don't know Niels, he comes on our show. He does like a segment on our show. Niels wants to know. Niels wants to know, right? And he's like a huge Disneyland Paris influencer. And so he's going to be he has like a cool little segment on our show, and that's pretty much it. So we're doing the castle. We're doing the castle. Disneyland Paris castle.
That's a fun one because out of all the castles, I think the Paris one's probably the coolest castle.
Yeah, because there's like a dragon underneath it.
Oh, yeah. I forgot even about that. I was just talking about the architecture. They have those like square trees out front. Like it's very just, cool looking.
It is a really neat looking castle.
Yeah.
All right, well, Castle, that sounds really exciting. And if you'd like to connect with DizHiz, just visit their website, dizhiz.com or dizhiz65 on all social media. And listen, if you want to put a commercial on DizHiz or sponsor the DizHiz commercial, just email me. It's dizhiz65scott@yahoo.com. If you listen to DizHiz and you're emailing dizhizscott@hotmail.com, I don't know that it's going anywhere. It may not, nobody's getting that email. So dizhiz65scott@yahoo.com. If you'd like to connect with us, just check out our website, nonewfriendspodcast.com. All of our links are there. You can check out our sweet merchandise, including this really cool Greetings from Gambia shirt that I'm wearing right now, and join our Patreon for as low as $1 a month is our lowest tier, but I'm going to be getting rid of that tier soon. So anybody who is at the $1 tier is going to get to stay at that $1 tier. Everybody else is going to be $2 and up. So check that out as well. And don't forget the hashtag share the show. Just share a link to our episode on Facebook and tag us, hashtag share the show. And then the journey of merch all the way till the end of the year. Just take a picture of a New Friends podcast shirt or magnet in a really cool place or on a really cool person. On behalf of Mary, Chris, and Joe, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.